For God gave us a spirit not of fear, but of power, love, and self-control. The reason why I love this verse so much is because it is the most simple yet powerful reminder that when you're having thoughts of fear, of doubt, of insecurity, you're having anxiety, you're depressed, you're just overthinking in your mind, know that that's not from God. That is coming from the opposite energy, from the enemy, from lower vibrational entities and spirits around you that are trying to drain your energy and take your attention away from God, away from the goodness, away from peace of mind, away from love, away from respect for yourself and others. This is a game. Life is a game. It is a game of energy. And the way that you play this game is through the mind and through thoughts. And we have to pick and choose which ones we play into. And we have to be aware of where our thoughts are coming from. Are they coming from God or are they coming from the enemy? Are they coming from your higher self or your lower self? Are they coming from the person you're becoming or the person you used to be? Be aware of what you're thinking. Thoughts are portals. One simple thought can take you into a whole nother reality of feeling, of more thoughts, of beliefs of the world, of yourself, of your future, of your past. You have to be so careful. And what I'm realizing is in my own life, in my biggest struggles, my darkest times, it was when I was the weakest mentally, when I had the least control over what I was thinking. And I would just allow myself to have one bad thought, which would lead to another one, and then I have a week of bad thoughts, and then I'm kind of in this dark hole, and it's a really uncomfortable, unpleasant experience. And remember the type of life that God intended for you. Remember the energies that He's placed into you. He's hardwired you to be loving, to treat your body like a temple, to forgive others, to be fearless, to create, to be a leader, to be a warrior. Embody these qualities. Stop falling into the trap of the enemy in putting yourself down, not believing in your God-given gifts, being afraid to speak your truth, being afraid to be seen. It is a constant battle in life of these two opposing forces. But the one that you give more attention to, that you give more praise to, more awareness to, that's the one that's going to grow. That's the one that's going to begin to reflect in you. And you have to remember that spiritual warfare is extremely real. People's spirits, their souls, their minds are getting attacked on a daily basis. I personally believe that depression is literally just an attack on the spirit, an attack on the mind, an infiltration of the mind, where you no longer have the strength or the capability or the awareness to control your mind. So other energies do, and they drain you, and they allow you to walk down this path of self-destruction, of disconnection from love, disconnection from truth, self-sabotage, hurting yourself, hurting other people, wasting your life. And this is not a joke. You have to take life very serious. Of course, it's important to stay innocent, to have fun, to enjoy. But at the end of the day, this is not a game. This is a spiritual war. And if you don't remember that, you most likely won't have a choice for which side you're going to play for. And when you're extremely asleep and your priorities are messed up, you end up playing for the side that wants the world to win. And you play against God. And that's what a lot of us do for a majority of our life because our consciousness is asleep. So I genuinely feel that the more aware you become of these two opposing forces of God and the enemy, and what characteristics come from either one of them, you can better navigate through your daily life. You can power up yourself and your mind and your priorities and the things you focus on to be on the side of God, to have a powerful mind, to live with love, to live with belief and hope and optimism, and not fall into the side of the opponent where you're fearful, where you have hatred and bitterness and judgment for yourself and for others. Knowledge truly is power. And that's why it's really important to spend a good amount of your life being open-minded and trying out different things. Obviously being mindful of what you open yourself to. But you have to try different things. You have to pray to God to show you what's right for you. What is the truth? And I have been a person, I've experimented a lot in my life. I've done a lot of different things. I've gone against a lot of society's normalities. I've done a lot of things within the spiritual world, and everything has led me back to God, has led me back to Jesus. And I never in a million years would have ever thought I would say that, but here I am, because that's the irony of life. It always comes full circle. especially when it comes to the truth. The truth is undeniable. The truth is unshakable. The truth is everlasting. Whether you want to agree with it or not, it's still going to be there. And I'm the type of person, I have a very strong mind, a very strong ego, and I'll go against the truth for as long as I have to until I burn out. And then I surrender to the truth. And then I realize it was there all along. But time has a funny way of playing with us and of being necessary in developing our character. And you kind of have to allow yourself to fall down and to get hurt like a kid. And as you learn to walk and as you mature your motor skills and your way of showing up and navigating in the world, you start to make better decisions and you start to realize that none of this is a joke. Nothing about this life is a joke. And so many people waste away their life asleep, sinning against themselves, against God. And I don't know if they're aware of it or if they're not, if a part of them is just so asleep that other things are overpowering them and making decisions for them. I don't know. But all I know for myself is that I want to live righteously. I want to give love from the depth of my heart. I want to refine my character and see my blind spots and my flaws and do everything I can to get closer to God. Because what else is there to do? Realistically, like what else is there to do? I can't tell you how many people will confirm the fact that you can win the admiration of the world, have 1,000,000 billion followers, $1,000,000 billion, the most good-looking husband or wife, kids, family, house, home, jet, car, all the things, and still be depressed. All things in this physical world are temporary and they're fleeting. The fulfillment, the joy, all of it is fleeting. And it always leaves you wanting more. It always leaves you feeling empty. But when it comes to God, when it comes to filling our spirit, disciplining the mind, having rooted, strong, righteous priorities in life, that's where lasting joy is birthed from. That's where you become unshakable in life. And the most beautiful part about that is that you start to get used by God. You start to have the highest level of purpose in life. And for me personally, I believe that the deepest joy comes from purpose. The deepest satisfaction comes from living a purposeful life where you give back, where you are of service, where you're guiding other people out of their darkness, out of their sin, out of their unconsciousness, out of their own self-sabotage. And of course, you can't change people, but never underestimate the power of energy, the power of planting a seed, the power of living by example. These are incredible, underrated tools, and this is really how you win the spiritual war. So stop falling into the thoughts of fear and know that that's not of God. That's not of your truest self. That's not of your highest future. It's of the enemy that wants to keep you small, that wants to keep you in a low vibration so you're easily manipulated, where you're constantly in a search of something to coddle you and to comfort you and to give you some sense of pleasure, dopamine, belonging, whatever. God gave you a spirit of love, of power, and of self-control. So embody it, feel it, act like it, show up as that as often as you can, and focus on those qualities, build those qualities, turn your attention away from the doubt and the fear and bring it into the love, into the self-control, into the power, into the godliness that's there. Build it, amplify it, share it with the world, and allow God to bless you. Thank you so much for watching. Have a beautiful rest of your day or your night, wherever